Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. Now, it's about time I get rid of this, isn't it? I've left this for a few days and, well, it's getting a bit
scruffy.
Wouldn't you agree? Not so good. I thought I'd do another ratings video because they seem to be quite interesting. Another interesting topic today, I'm going to be talking about my top 5 favourite cities I've visited. I'm not the most well-travelled person, but I've been to quite a few cities in my time, and there's a certain few that I've remembered for years. So I best stop farting around and I best get on with the list. In at number 5 we have London. Now, London is the sort of city you either love or hate. You either love how the hustle and bustle is and that there's people always doing things and there's business going on all the time, or you think it's just ridiculously crowded and full of idiots. I really do like London. It's the epicentre of British politics, which is partly why I like it. Westminster, I've visited Westminster Abbey, I've visited the Houses of Parliament. I love the history that there is in London. I love all the statues of Churchill, Prime Ministers, Lloyd George. There's a statue of Nelson. It's full of the history. It shows the whole history of Britain. I love how there's so many different cultures in London as well. You know, you've got like a Chinese area, I remember, that's just next to Leicester Square. I can remember walking through there.
Absolutely amazing.
I love London. I think it's a far better city than people give it credit for. I mean, the first time I went, I've been... Shut up.
Are you okay?
I've been to London many, many times. My uncle used to live down there, so we used to visit him. I can't remember exactly where he lived. He moved up to Scotland when I was quite young as well. So I visited London many times, and I've always enjoyed it whenever I've been, so it rightly deserves a place on my list.
Are you on some drugs or something? What do you sound like? Come on, man!
In at number 4, we have Los Angeles. Now, I visited LA back in 2013 when me and my parents did a bit of a tour around California. Because I was a bit of a film geek back then, I'm not so much now. Stars, the walk of fame was, I thought it was brilliant. I had all my photos taken with some of my favourite film stars. I can remember eating in a Hard Rock Cafe there. Not Hard Rock Cafe.
Is it Hard Rock Cafe? I think it's a Hard Rock Cafe. I can't remember.
There's the whole Hollywood as well. We took a tour. I went in a tour bus and visited all the different famous people. Well, apparently, where very famous people live. How true that is, we don't know. There's just a real buzz about the place, and there's a fantastic beach in LA. I remember going to that. I thought it was beautiful. That beach had a real gritty British feel as well. Actually, I was surprised. It's quite an old-fashioned pier, and it had the traditional some funfair rides on there. I do really like LA. I'd highly recommend if you do get the chance to go to America. I was very lucky at 13 to be able to go. It's definitely high up there for me.
Bloody Hugh Grant impression going on, come on!
In at number 3, we have Paris. I absolutely adored Paris when I went. I went to Paris when I was 16. When I was doing my GCSEs, I went with school. One of my funniest memories from Paris, and my mate Jack will agree with me on this, is we went up the Eiffel Tower. Me and Jack were under the impression that all of us would be walking down to the bottom. So we ended up getting to the bottom and we got a phone call from our teacher.
Where are you?
We're at the bottom, where are you?
I get back up here fast.
So that was a slight mistake. We also visited places like the Notre Dame. Obviously that's been damaged by a terrible fire. We drove around... We drove around the Arc de Triomphe, which I thought was brilliant. It's incredible how mad the Arc de Triomphe is. I mean, there's all these cars going round and your insurance, I think I'm right in saying this, correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I've heard, your insurance is wiped out once you're going on the Arc de Triomphe. Your car is no longer insured, so if you have a crash...
Tough luck.
It's quite a mad place, really. Traffic's worse than London in Paris. Amazing food, amazing wine, I do remember that.
I thought you were 16!
In fact, I'll be going again this year for a wedding, which I am very much looking forward to. There really is a romantic feel about the city. There's all these... I remember walking across the Seine River and there was all these locks, love locks I think they're called, where it had like couples' initials on them. which I thought was a really nice touch. So yeah, it's a beautiful place, and if you do get the chance to go to Paris, definitely go. It really is nice. Paris at number 3. My top 2 are both American cities. The reason why they're my top 2 is because my memories are extremely fond from both of them, and I think they rightly deserve their places. So in at number 2 we have San Francisco. I absolutely loved San Francisco. I thought it was such an underrated city. You don't hear it in that high in a lot of people's regard. I loved it. It was such a mysterious place. Obviously, my fondest memory was visiting Alcatraz prison on the island of Alcatraz. They've preserved it exactly like it was and turned it into a museum. It's the most astonishing place. It really is. It's
fascinating.
Especially if you're like me and you find crime, punishment very interesting. I certainly did when I was 13 because I was, well, a geek. To know that people like Al Capone, George Machine Gun Kelly, James Whitey Bulger were all there, and that so many people attempted to escape, and because it's an island, no one survived. Or did they? Also, you've got the Golden Gate Bridge, which,
As Jeremy Clarkson said, is much like the Humber Bridge in Britain, only smaller.
but I remember when we drove across there in a tour bus, that it was a really misty day. And it was really quite spooky. That's my memory of the bridge. But as we got across the bridge and we got into Sausalito, that really is a beautiful place. And some of the views there were just absolutely astonishing. We stayed in a fantastic hotel in a Hyatt hotel, which was really nice. Although I remember the hotel room, the view was about
As good as this wall.
But yeah, San Francisco. Absolutely fantastic city. Definitely one to put on your list. And at number 1, we have, and I'm going to have to say it, Viva Las Vegas. I absolutely loved Las Vegas. It's just such a mad city. You know, you've got all these lights going off everywhere and people gambling and losing money and winning money, and it's just mental. And you've got dancing girls over there. You've got jugglers over there. You've got the Bellagio fountains. It's just a magical city. It really is magical. That's the best way I can describe it. There's a real feel of this place is different to anywhere else I've been. And the rules are very different as well. What I remember quite clearly was, excuse me.
God, I've got corona.
I remember clearly when we went into a casino and my mum just took out a cigarette and started smoking. I thought, what are you doing, woman? And she said, it's perfectly legal to smoke in here. I was like, is it? And it was. It is. Unbelievable. I wasn't used to that at all, being brought up in the smoking ban, where you're only allowed to smoke outside. I thought, wow, this is strange. It really is a magical place. I remember quite clearly going up the Stratosphere Tower, which is about 1,000 feet tall, and 909 feet in the air, they have one of those spinning rides. I'll never forget going on that. I can remember my mum chickened out going on any of them, even going up. My dad came up with me, and we were going to go on the rides together. He took one look at how high up it was, and he was like,
Nah, you're on your own.
and it was terrifying. It really was. You were so high up in the air, but it was amazing. You had all this great view of Vegas and Nevada, really. And if you turned behind, you had Arizona as well. Talking of Arizona, we also took a helicopter ride into the Grand Canyon. Now, that was an experience I'll never forget. It was the first time I'd ever flown in a helicopter, and the noise is biblical if you don't have your headset on. We flew in, and the Grand Canyon just has this sort of magical, again, you know, it's such a vast area that you're flying in. You see wild horses as you're flying over, and it was just very, very interesting. If you ever get the chance to go to America, you got to go to Las Vegas. It is a magical place. The whole of Nevada itself, California is just a wonderful state. There's all sorts of things going on. There's such a variety of people, variety of sights. I remember driving down the Californian West Coast and looking at the Pebble Beach Golf Club My cousins got to play it. I'm not jealous. I'm really not. Yeah, I love America. I can't believe I just said that. I do. I really do. I really do like America. I think it's a wonderful country in many ways. So that was my list. I hope you enjoyed the video. Slightly more interesting one. Probably not full of the facts and figures you might have liked, but it was just me trying to recollect my memories. And my memory's pretty shot, as it turns out. So probably was a bit of a crap video thinking about it. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave a comment. Where's your favourite city that you visited? Hope you enjoyed. I hope you all stayed safe, and I'll see you again soon.